Dudes, ladies, guys, everyone. Here's the thing. Heath, are you being serious right now? Because I'm being serious right now.
I'm dead serious.
All right, I need serious Heath. This is serious Sid.
I'm serious. I'm ready.
All right, because, man, here's the thing. I got to tell you. I got to tell the people listening. It's a post-COVID world.
Lots has changed.
The world looks different today. And the agency has to stay relevant, has to stay competitive, has to be a little different.
Yeah, I think we have to stay ahead of the game. We have to stay ahead of what's coming. We have to know what's next.
So how do we do that?
We got to be a connected agency.
Ooh, what does that mean?
I don't know. We got to get into it, though.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Welcome to the VIP podcast.
Season 3.
Let's go. Welcome to the VIP podcast over here at Vertafore. We are in season 3, and I'm excited you're here hanging out. So I've got my main man, Chris Paradiso, in here hanging out with us today. And I know you saw him, when you read the description before you hit the play button. But this guy has been there, done that in the industry. You've probably seen him on stages, heard him in podcasts, done the things. But I want you to hear his story, and we're going to get into some stuff here. As this month, we're talking all things customer experience, all things customer journey, and no better guy to bring on than my man, Chris Paradiso. So, Chris Paradiso.
Thanks for having me.
What's going on, brother?
I appreciate you having me on. I'd love to share the customer experience journey because I think it's vitally important to the independent agent.
I do too, especially as, we're continuing in this hard market, and, this is, March, February, but I still feel like we're going to be in this hard market for a long time to come. And I think one of the best ways to tackle the hard market is to focus more on the customer journey than price or than speed or than the other things that we've been wrongly focused on. And not everybody, my listeners are great at that, but there are some out there that they have focused on the lies that speed and price are the two most important things in the customer journey, which I don't agree with, obviously.
My dad would always say he would agree with you until your client has a claim. And they will never at that point talk about speed, talk about price. So until there's a claim, those two may be in our mindset of what's really important. But have a claim and then see what that client says.
Exactly. And people that are listening to this, they know, we all know this, but our clients for years now have been trained 15% or more in 15 minutes or less. They've been trained shop, call your agent, shop this, move here, do that. And it's just not the right way of doing things. And so, I first, heard about you and, came to some of your webinars early, in my career and certain things, talking about some of the customer journey and customer experience. And I've gotten to know you pretty well over the last several years and become friends. And so I wanted to bring you on to talk about some of that. But before we do, I'd love to give you a few minutes. I'd love for you to tell kind of your story a little bit. Give me, how far back as you want to go, and then lead me up to now. High level or as deep as you want to go. It's your world, Chris. I'm just living in it.
Well, I will tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, because I think people think, Michael Jordan, the greatest athlete, greatest basketball player of all time, but they don't realize the struggle of him getting cut from high school basketball. Right. So in 2007 and 2008, I didn't have a website.
Wow.
I didn't have an email. I did not have an email address. It wasn't until late 2007 into early 2008 that I would even get an email address when everybody else was already emailing. So unfortunately, fortunately, I woke up realizing what clients really want and that we have to do what they really want when they want it. And so in the beginning of my career, I was selfish, hyper-focused about me versus, as my mentor, Bob McCool, said, if you're standing outside your front door looking in, what do you want them to see? Because your reality from you sitting behind your desk and looking out is very different than the reality of your client who is standing outside that door before they walk in.
Wow.
Their perception is reality. And, everything changed in 2008 and 2009 when I got hyper-focused with email marketing, got hyper-focused with a profitable website and having some go-to strategies. Super focused on blogging in 2009, which still today we have a pretty robust blogging strategy. Who would ever think 14 years later, thousands, if not 100,000 blogs later, that we still are blogging and having success with that. So it wasn't all rosy in the beginning. Unfortunately, I needed to take my selfish blinders off and realize, and I'm thankful for my insurance mentor, Bob McCool, for really opening my eyes. God rest his soul, he passed away in the last 6 weeks. But he helped a tremendous amount of agents, in this industry.
So when you were just alluding to it, but when you talk about woke up, like what was it that caused you, I mean, besides Bob McCool, but to wake up and realize, was there something that happened, any one particular event, or was it just something that I guess you woke up one day and realized, wait a minute, like what was that for you? What did wake up?
Yeah, I went to a specific event, and it was in the Breakers down in Florida, which is a magnificent place to stay. And a gentleman that was speaking said, there's two issues that independent agents need to overcome in the coming 12 to 18 months if they want to be relevant and moving forward in the senses of real growth. Number one, relevancy is online. And number two, stop working in your business and start working on your business. And he listed all on your business. And the number one thing that he put when you start working on your business is interview close friends that will tell you the truth about their experience within your agency.
Wow.
And it was very, very, very valuable. Number two thing that I took from him, make sure you visit 2 agencies a year. Spend a full day dissecting what they do and why they do it. But most importantly, start the first hour off by asking them, what mistakes have you made in the last 5 years? Why'd you make them and what'd you change? Because everybody wants to talk about success. I tell people, don't call Chris Paradiso and ask about his success. Call me and ask me about my million failures. Because I'm only successful today because of my failures. We win or we learn. That is crucial. And that's what I took from that message. And when I left the Breakers out of Florida, I said within 12 months, I will be 93% out of my agency, meaning I will not work in the agency. I will be working on it. And I listed all the things, that come with working on your business.
Wow. I've heard a lot of that, but yeah, I love that, that's where the genesis of it came from and what helped you to wake up. And so I wrote down several things I wanted to dive into. And so I'll start, because the way my brain works, I have to do the thing I remember first and then backtrack. But could you, because I'm going to challenge you and push back on what you just said, or ask you, what was the biggest mistake you made in 2023?
Oh, I didn't take enough risk.
Oh.
No question.
Okay.
No question. Had an opportunity and to get out of a situation of a agency that I own, and I let fear slap me right in the face for 4 months. I'm fortunate and blessed that my mindset had overcome, and we made a huge change. But for 4 months, that paralyzed me in my mindset. So I can assure you it's not going to happen again.
Okay. My next question would be, guessing on your history in the industry based on some years you've described, you've been through at least 2 pretty good hard markets, maybe more. What's the biggest mistake that you've made in the hard market?
In this hard market?
In this one or any hard market, but yeah, this one in particular, we could go there first.
I would say the biggest mistake is that number one would be training for staff. Investing in the hard market conversations is what we call it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are 6 months behind that.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate, unlike most who might take years, but 6 months is still a long time to be behind. Just like that 4 months paralyzed me, with blinders that, and you might say, hey, at least you moved on. That's great. But imagine if I moved on 3 months and 3 weeks prior, where would I have ended up? Where would the agency have ended up? Same with the education.
Yeah.
100% invest in your teammates with the right outside sales consultants teaching hard market conversations. And unfortunately, I'm not sure agencies are doing that.
No, I don't think they are either. So as we, again, getting the theme of today's episode with customer experience, would you say before you can get anything going with building out your customer experience, you've got to start internally with your own team?
Yes.
And is that,
no question.
Does that begin with
how do
processes?
you start with clients if you don't start with your team? Your team needs to be educated, needs to be trained. Stop being cheap. Invest money. If you believe in your teammates, invest money in education to help them perform better.
Well, I've had some people that have said, they want to reverse engineer, from the customer standpoint. But I like that you pushed back on that and said, how do you do that without knowing? So again, before we even get into the conversation of what I brought you on for, did that start even back in 2007, 8, or wherever that started, as far as processes, procedures, teaching your staff, educating them on not just hard market or soft market, but just a customer journey, how to do this or how to do that kind of thing?
Yes, but at a very basic level.
Okay.
So, I can look back and say I made a major mistake that I didn't invest more time and energy in, first of all, making sure we had the right agency management system. Yeah. Because remember, every agency management system is going to bring different processes and procedures.
100%.
What ended up happening is over an 8-year period, I went to 3 different management systems. That right then and there is a mistake. Should have done my homework from day one and spent more time and energy and effort and money making sure I'm on the right platform. So those are mistakes I made. I mean, I can give you hours of mistakes that I made, that I like to help the newbies that are coming in and saying, hey, invest time, money, and energy today in the right AMS system, number one. And number two, everything needs to be documented, processes and procedures, from everything from answering the phone to, I don't care what it is, to setting your phone up, to setting your desktop up, to every aspect of the business needs to be honed in with a video and a PDF platform so that it's in a training center area for you to properly train so that you can compete against the big boys and big girls, meaning the large agencies. The reason why you can compete is if you set up the right processes and procedures, you document it, and you have a full education portal.
Okay, so from the very beginning, you brought it up of even from answering the phone. If I were to dial right now on my phone and call Paradiso Insurance, how would they answer the phone?
Thank you for choosing Paradiso Insurance. My name is Annie. How may I help you?
And that's across all of your agencies or just
Yes.
the one that you're in now? Okay.
Yeah, I'm thanking you for doing business with us because we're telling you you're going to do business with us because we are different.
And that's
we
what I
are
was gonna
not
say.
your.
So if you break that down, you were intentional in those words.
Yes, very intentional.
And you were about to tell us about that. I interrupted you. My bad. But because you are subliminally, so to speak, telling them they're going to do business with you.
Yes.
So say that again. Thank you for calling.
We are very intentional of telling you, thank you for choosing to do business with Paradiso Insurance. My name is Annie. How may I help you?
I love that. So whether they're a current customer or or a new customer, thank you for doing business with us. How can I help you? And so, and a lot of people just start with the, thank you for calling, Paradiso Insurance. How can I help you? And it's not, thank you for doing business. It's more just thank you for calling.
Thank you for choosing.
Yeah, I love that.
We know you have options and choices is one of our 12 promises.
And so once they, get Annie or whoever answers the phone and they take care of that part, let's say it's a new customer and let's say they want to get a quote. If you don't mind, walk me through some of that process a little bit of what that looks like in the customer journey.
Can I back up so that you can understand the customer journey? Because
100%.
You won't be able to, or some agents won't be able to understand. So at our agency, we've kind of outfitted our agency to be a baseball team. And why I relate to baseball is because of DH, right? DH is a designated hitter. They do nothing but hit.
Right.
So on new business, we have 3 aspects of our new business on personal lines team. Number 1 is Heath, you're calling in and you're a new prospect, right? That's going to go to Hillary. That is new business. We have quoted and not sold, which is also new business. So we go back 24 months and we call for 2 consecutive years, quoted and not sold business to go back after to get that business. And the third new business avenue for personal lines is lost business. So we identify our lost business and then we try to identify why they left us. And then we code them what we call a win back or not. Win backs are people we want to go back after. Others, I won't say what we name them inside of our management system, but are people we don't want to go back after. For example, let's say Heath Sheeran had 7 non-pays in a year. Canceled for non-pay. We are not calling you to rewrite you, Heath.
I don't blame you.
You are dead.
You're red flagged. Yeah, I'm red flagged in your agency.
So the reason why I say that is because we have 3 avenues to new business personal lines. We then have service personal lines. We then have renewal specialists. So if you called and you were renewing and you had questions, you're going to go to one of our renewal specialists. And the last piece of our personal lines is our claims liaison. So we have a claims liaison both in our personal lines, our commercial lines, and our specialty markets, parcel delivery, and other departments. So every department has a dedicated claims liaison.
Wow.
Why I explain that is because the journey is very specific for each department and very different for each department.
Where I would like to talk, and we can get into, so we can backtrack that part in a minute, but how about this? Regardless of how they got in, and how they got the quote and where they came from, which funnel, let's say we've clicked, the bind button and we've issued the policy, everything's good there. You guys have built a journey from there that I believe is second to none. I've seen, and I've heard it. I've been on webinars with you before. I've hosted you on my show personally before. But I would love the audience to hear that, because a lot of times you hear, I haven't heard from my agent in a whole year, or I haven't heard from them in 6 months, whatever it might be. But Paradiso Insurance will never hear that because you guys have touch points throughout the year. First of all, what's the genesis of that? Where did that come from? And then second of all, if you could walk us through that a little bit.
Well, the touch points comes from, understanding. I went to school for psychology, so I use a lot of psych. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. Who knows? We trial and error quite a few things, but touch points are critical to the retention numbers.
Okay.
And retention to Chris Paradiso is a bucket of money filled with water, and without touch points, there's holes in the bottom of that. So we utilize retention really to focus on touch points. So it's kind of reversed engineered a little bit, because touch points play a role in our actual retention numbers.
Okay.
And I can tell you how the numbers go down and where they go down. So we have a three-pronged approach when it comes to new business. Number one, you're going to get print. And you're going to get print over the next 5 months. You're going to have 6 different touch points on printed paper. One's going to be a thank you. One's going to be a postcard asking you to download our agency app. One is going to be a detailed about our 12 promises. One's going to be from me thanking you for doing business, knowing that you have a lot of options and choices. Here is my personal email to the agency, and here is my phone number. And if there is any hiccups, we want to hear about them. I want to learn about them. Not that we look to get people in trouble, but we look to better the customer experience. So that's going to take place. That is paper.
So
number two is.
Let me back up a minute. Are those different format? Are the postcards? Is it handwritten letters? Is it
both?
Okay.
There's a combination.
Okay.
Combination of postcards, combination of handwritten note cards, combination of just a handwritten note from me.
Got it. Okay, so that's print. Go ahead.
So number 2 is a phone call.
Phone call.
So
okay.
4 weeks after you do business with Paradiso, we want to give you a call to say, hey, Heath, welcome to the Paradiso Insurance family. We thank you for choosing to do business with our agency. That's number 1. Number 2, we would love to offer you a review of your life insurance. If you don't have life insurance and have questions, we have a life insurance expert. And that is the main crux behind the call. Number 1, to thank them. Number 2, to let them know that we do life insurance. Would they like a review? And if they would like a review, great. Or would they like to talk about life insurance? And that is to really educate and get our clients to really understand the importance of life insurance and that we offer other products. Now, yes, we send a postcard, but remember, sometimes you just read it and throw it away. So
yeah,
it's critical to pick up that phone. So 4 weeks into it, they're going to get a phone call.
And then on that phone call, this expert for life insurance, that's someone on staff at Paradiso Insurance, or do you refer that to somebody else?
No, that's someone on staff, but we have a virtual assistant actually reaching out to say thank you and to then offer a life insurance review, or if they would like to get quotes. But it's really a gentle, it's more of a thank you. But hey, by the way, we do offer life insurance. If you have life insurance, we ask, they say yes. If you'd like a free consultation review, we are happy to do that for you.
Okay. And I think that's brilliant to do that 4 weeks in, because even if they do have it through their work, or if they do have it here, they probably either don't have enough, or they're not educated on what enough looks like, or they probably have questions, or they may have a term policy it's going to renew soon, or they got a whole life that could supplement with a term, or they've got all kinds. There's so many different ways people can use life insurance outside of just you die, you get paid. I mean, there's people now.
There's actually products now that people are selling their term product. They don't want it anymore. There actually has value to sell it to an outside company. Who would ever think a company is buying that? But they are.
They are. You're exactly right. There's so many uses for that. And so, and
you know the main purpose behind the life insurance? Because most people know I'm pretty intentional when it comes to.
Yeah, hit me.
So if Heath Sharon does home, auto, and umbrella with me, the average lifespan of Heath Sharon as a client of Paradiso Insurance is 5 years.
I was about to say, yeah.
If I add life insurance, even if you remove the umbrella, if you add life insurance and have at least one other policy, it's 10 years.
10 years? I was going to say 7.
So I get a 5-year bump.
Wow.
Call me greedy, and greed's a 5-letter word. You get a 5-year bump on that client to staying with your agency. Life insurance is critical to the customer experience for multiple of reasons. Number 1, the lifespan of that client is 10 years versus 5 years. Number 2, think about the dollars and cents behind that.
Yeah.
It's much more expensive to go find new business than it is to retain and write more business within and having less clients with more policies.
Love it. Okay, so we got the print, we've got the phone call 4 weeks in. What's
then
next in their journey?
email.
Okay.
Why do we do print and why do we do phone call? Well, let's also remember email marketing and email onboarding is only as good as the open ratio. So let's be brutally honest. There is nobody listening to this that has a 90% open ratio. If you tell me you have a 90% open ratio of your emails, you are flat out lying, because we know that statistics show really good numbers are 40 to 50% of existing clients. Now, have I seen 60? I have. It's a whole process to get there. You're not going to find 70, 80, 90. So remember, if you do an outstanding job here and you get 50%, that's 50% of the people who never got any of your messaging through digital marketing. That's why we believe in a three-prong approach. The other approach besides digital marketing, and some people put it in that suites, would be taking a small budget and placing your core value, your agency core values or your promises or your agency brand in front of them through social media, which we also do.
Okay. So
some call it 4, some call it 3. I consider social media and digital marketing all in one bucket.
Okay. Okay. So, with you being so specific about your processes and about what you're doing, is there a specific piece of tech that has been, crucial to your processes or that has changed the game for your processes over the years?
Yeah.
What's that?
I would say one is older than the other.
Okay.
I think there's 2 of them, and now they're actually integrated. I would say it's Client Circle.
Yeah.
Because if you're not getting the Net Promoter Score, shame on you. You don't care about your retention. You don't care about your customer experience. And number 2 is Donna.
Yeah.
Donna, over the last 2 years, has, and people will challenge me. Which one's better? You need both. You need both. Why do you need both? The Net Promoter Score is me sending an email out to Heath and Heath responding, so it actually tells me. Donna is all about artificial intelligence. If you're dropping all your phone calls and all your emails that are going through the management system, which is tied with Donna, it's telling us the likelihood. It gives us 2 scores. It gives us the centimeter score, which is a Net Promoter Score without me asking Heath. Let me repeat that. A centimeter score is a Net Promoter Score without me asking Heath to give me the answer. The second it's giving me is it's giving me the likelihood of that client staying with the agency. Sometimes those 2 are 2 opposite extremes.
Yeah.
So Donna for Agents has been instrumental. Client Circle has been instrumental for the customer experience. It just gives us such a huge upper hand. And I will say, because people say to me, oh, I had Client Circle when they were rock referrals. It didn't do anything for me. Okay, my question to you would be, Heath, Sharon, if somebody gives you a 5, what do? You pick the damn phone up and you call the client and you find out why. What can we do to improve? If they give you an 8, pick the damn phone up. Call. Hey, Heath, this is Chris Paradiso, owner of Paradiso Insurance. You gave us an 8. That is really good, but it's not where we want to be. We want to be a 10. What can we do, Heath, Sharon, to make it better and easier for you to do business with Paradiso Insurance? And I'm going to tell you something. People love to talk about what you can do better. They don't always like to tell you you're doing a great job, but they love to tell you when you're not doing a good job.
100%.
And I love to hear them, just like my management team, my team leads. We want to hear about it because that's how we learned about it years ago, why we needed Saturday hours. I love your agency, but you're not open on Saturdays. We've been open on Saturdays for 5, 6, 7 years now. Why? Because we picked up the phone and called. At that time, they were Rocket Referrals. They're now called Client Circle. And our clients told us, what do? We listened to them, we implemented it, and we have Saturday hours.
There you go. I love that, and I love that you talk about those, and I love that you've got them, I'm assuming, integrated with all your other technology, because you brought up the AMS, you brought up...
Yeah, they are integrated with the AMS system, and they're also integrated with each other.
Yeah.
The great thing about, Arias and Donna for agents and Client Circle is they were able to connect and say, let's integrate so we make the user experience better for the agents, which it's been instrumental.
Yeah. And so are you the type in your agency, or maybe whether it's you or someone else in the agency, that, looks at the data and the reports and the things that nature for every aspect of the agency?
We do every single week. So we have a team lead. We run off of the EOS system. So we have an L10, and the L10 is every Wednesday. And we have a piece of our L10 is our tracking from where our referrals coming from, what's our closing rate on referrals, how much new business did we write, how much did we quote. It's very, very, very detailed, and it's kind of the switchboard to what actually runs our agency.
Yeah, and those, for those that don't run on those, that's a level 10 meeting, and those are so vital to so many agencies because it is that way for you to do that. And again, I appreciate you, sharing that part of it because I think, in my opinion, that since I've been here at Vertafore, a lot of agencies don't use, no matter what the management system is, they don't use it to its fullest capacity. And I think that's where
Why is that, Heath?
Because number one, they don't know how. Number two, they have a lot of assumptions.
If you don't know how, what do you do, Heath?
What do you mean? What are you getting at?
You ask,
you
listen, and then you invest. That's exactly what we did. When we went on to the management system for 9 months, we were failing epically. You know what I did? I hired an expert. She changed our world.
Yeah. And I know about this expert. We have those, and I just think a lot of people are afraid to ask, or they're embarrassed to say they don't understand, or they just stick their head in the sand and they think, I'm using it at this capacity, which maybe, let's say 50% of its capacity. Like, that's good enough. But we know at Vertafore there's so much more, or it could be whatever system you're on. There's so much more that your management system can do, or your CRM, or Donna, or whatever it is, but people aren't using it to its fullest capacity.
It's either one or two things. You said it. They are fearful of asking, or they're too cheap to spend the money.
Bingo. And that's one of the things that we believe here, how important the tech stack is. And we believe, and we wanted to pour into that and help educate our clients on that tech stack, no matter what that looks like, whether we're a piece of that tech stack or not, whether we're all of your tech stack or not. We just want to help you to understand the vital importance in your agency of using technology to back up. Yes, print's great. The phone call is great, the email, social media, all those things you talk about, but a lot of that's probably powered by, or all of it's powered by the technology in your agency on that level 10 meeting.
It is, but it also includes people who are willing to take responsibility. So we can talk about technology till we're blue in the face. I get more tweets and texts. So you really think technology is going to replace people? Not. People will never be replaced in this industry.
Thank you. Yeah.
Period. So it is vitally important to invest in people, number one. You can have the best technology in the world, but if you don't invest in people, you're not going to get there.
Well, that's what that's why we need
people. You need good people, and you need to invest in them.
And that's why we exist at Vertafore. We believe in everything that we do is to help you enhance your relationships, to enhance your people, to make things that much easier and better for your customers or your staff. And so we believe in enabling you to do better with software. So it's not that we're, replacing humans. We're just enhancing humans.
No. Emails are for information. Phone calls are for communication. I preach that every single day at my agency. VAs will never replace our licensed staff here. Yeah. Their job is to enhance them so that they can do a better job with education on coverages and reviews. It is not to replace them. Right. It is not for me to cheap out. It's for me to assist my teammates to be able to do a better job. It's the same with AI. AI's job inside of our agency is to assist our renewal specialists to do a better job, to identify sales opportunities, identify coverage opportunities. Coverage opportunities, I will repeat, if you don't identify those will turn into E&O claims in the future. AI is here to stay to only assist our teammates to do a better job.
I think you nailed it, the word assist. And I think that that's where people, for as long as I can remember, people have thought, oh, tech is going to replace, or InsurTech's going to replace, or VA is going to replace. And like you said, I think you said it, simply put and very well put, of people cannot be replaced. I think that the relationship is too important.
Well, good people can't be replaced.
Okay. I can always, leave it to you to push back on that with my words. But yes, yeah. I agree with you. Good people. And so that's where, again, I wanted to bring you on to talk about that because, again, I think it starts with your people. It starts with your processes, and then you get into the journey you talked about. One of the questions I would ask you is that, it's just simply put, is that what sets you apart from the other 400 agencies down the street from you? Or is it something else, when we talk about customer journey? What sets Paradiso Insurance apart from everybody else?
Number one, the people.
Okay.
Period. We invest a lot of money in our teammates to make them better at their job. Number two, we have Saturday hours. Number three, we have an agency app. Its job is to service you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and or communicate with us.
Okay.
I would put those three things. I know what most people say. Most people say, we give the best service. Well, why is the average independent agency's retention rate at 83%? Because that's the true number of retention in the United States. It's not 97, which you hear all the time. It's 83%. How do you lose 17%? You're losing 17%. Now, I know 5% is going to be from death,
nutrition,
moving. It's just nutrition, right? I mean, there's that 5% you can't control. But that other 14% is total control. And it's all on communication. Everything I've discussed here about the customer experience is all about communication. And I will repeat, emails are for information, phone calls are for communication. We believe in the good old-fashioned picking up the phone and communicating with people.
Yeah, I like that. I'm writing that down now, with email for info and phone is for communication. And sometimes you might be using the phone to communicate the info you already sent out on an email, but it doesn't hurt to get it in front of them more than one time.
If I send you a text, Heath, or I pick up the phone and call you, where are you going to get the emotion?
Say that again?
Where are you going to get the emotion? If I send you a text or I pick up the phone, where is the emotion?
In the phone call. And so,
how much of emotion plays a role in the sale, in earning trust, a part of the sale?
A ton.
It's almost 93%. So
emotion
plays an enormous role in trust. So we need to always do a better job at communication. And I'm not saying Paradiso Insurance is perfect. We make a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
We make mistakes. But how do we learn from them and try to fix them rather than looking to, put staff down or try, hey, we're getting you in trouble. We want to write you up. No, we want to do a better job.
Yep.
And if we know about it and we share with you, and then we hire the right sales coaches and the right communication coaches, where you're seeing that we're behind you and helping you do a better job versus, I've heard a lot of agents say, oh, this person, they're a terrible salesperson. Okay, how much money did you invest in them? Let's back up. Did you hire a sales coach? Have you spent time with that person? We can't just say they're a terrible salesperson if we didn't do our job as a good leader, as in following through to provide them with what they need in order to be a good salesperson.
And you brought this word up earlier that I will bring up, as you talk about agency owners, accountability. I think agency owners out there have to be held accountable for the decisions that they make.
We have an accountability coach for all of our salespeople.
That's awesome.
For one reason. We need to look in the mirror and take responsibility for our actions.
100%. And so I love that you brought that up, even as a agency owner. Because a lot of times people think, oh, the agency owners got their feet kicked up on the desk, or they're out playing golf 5 days a week, or they're focused on this or that. But you bring up, you still have to be held accountable.
It's my accountability log. Yeah. My feet are not going to be kicked up. And the last place you're going to find Chris Paradiso is on a golf course.
I hear you.
We need to become better leaders.
Yeah.
We need to become better leaders. We need to become better owners. And better owners means becoming a better leader. And we don't lead, as my father used to say, I'll listen to what you said, but I'll watch for what you do.
100%.
And the only thing that really matters to me are your actions, because words are cheap.
That 100%. And I think, we learn that, even at an early age, and, we try to learn that, but then somewhere along the way we forget that. But, and I was thinking back to some of the things you had said, throughout this call that I've been writing down. I want to make sure I touched on all of them. But one of the things I will talk about that I wanted to get into was, you talk about this customer journey, you talk about the post-sale journey. Somewhere along the way, I've heard you talk about, and I've seen it on socials, and I've seen it here, is Flag Day. And so I don't know any other agency in America, and I know a lot of them, I don't know all of them, that does a Flag Day celebration or that cares and does that. And so, and I'm not saying that what you're telling my audience is have a Flag Day celebration, but it means something to you. So therefore it means something to your clients, I'm sure, or to your agency. So talk to me a little bit about the origin of that, where that came from, and how that fits in your client journey.
Well, if you can't see it, but over here, there's a napkin from my grandfather. He wrote on his dying deathbed in the hospital, in Hartford Hospital, at the age of 90. And he basically, on a napkin, he wrote down what made him Francesco Paradiso. And number one was his family. Number two was his 6 medals.
Oh, wow.
6 medals in World War I, but then speak English.
That's amazing.
He fought for this country, and I'll never forget some of his last words that he said to me before he passed. He said, someday you're going to get married with a really thick accent, and someday you're going to have a beautiful Italian family. But remember, you're going to be American first. And number 2, don't ever leave this beautiful homeland, for America allowed me to work as hard as I wanted to work. He only left Italy to go to Germany for less than 30 days for work. It's the only reason why he left. There was no work in Italy. And then went to Germany and there was absolutely no work. He came to America in November of 1911. 30 days later, he ended up in Stafford Springs. He died in Stafford Springs.
Oh, wow.
In 1985 at the age of 90. And he was passionate about his family and his love for his family. And remember one thing, he never finished 3rd grade. He did all this with a 3rd grade education.
Wow.
But
That's
he believed
impressive.
in hard work.
Yeah.
What makes America great is hard work. You want to work hard, you can have anything you want in this world. And I believe so much in that flag. That red stands for the bloodshed of our men and women who have died for this country. And Flag Day is just an unbelievable way that I can give back to every veteran and every proud patriot who believes in that flag. It's not political. You can if you're thinking political, shut it down, because it's not political. That flag stands for freedom. That flag stands for opportunity, and that it just stands for so much. That my family came from Italy in 1911, and we are still here in 2024. And my job and obligation to looking at my grandfather is to bring pride to the people, to see the value of what that flag really stands for. And that's what Flag Day stands for. We honor veterans, and we honor a lot of them. And people come, insurance agents come from California, several of them, not one of them. North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina. That's other independent agents who are supporting us. That's what makes the independent agencies so great. We are the backbone of America for one reason, because of what we give. We give to communities in small town America all the time. And I am not only super proud American, I am by far an extremely proud independent insurance agent. And I am here to support other independent insurance agents because of their love for their communities and all they give. And 90% of them will never tell you what they're giving, ever. They just give. And that's why independent agents are the backbone of small town America.
Man, you got me. I'm getting emotional just hearing you talk about it. I can see the emotion on your face and hear it in your voice, and I definitely respect and appreciate that. And so when you say that agents come from all over the country, what do you guys do in your agency on that day or for that celebration?
So we spend about 90 days prior getting our community worked up. What does that consist of? A local newspaper that goes out to every household. We knock on doors. We do flyers. We do postcards. We make phone calls. And then we have is an awful lot of staffing. So we serve 220 pounds of roast beef.
Wow.
We do 500 hamburgers, 500 hot dogs, unlimited amount of ice cream. We have a car show. 100% is at no cost. You bring your old flag, we'll replace it with a new replacement flag, of course, made in
That's
America
cool.
flag. We refuse to give out any flag that's not made in America. And we want to replace that for you. And then we have a proper ceremony for that flag, a retirement ceremony for that flag, because a lot of people don't understand. We do a good job educating people what goes behind the retirement of a flag, because there's a lot of meaning behind it. It's kind of like a lot of people, even independent agents, have said, Chris, what's the meaning behind the table that's set? You know, you see in that Marine Corps, and it's the table that's empty. And I said, do you realize the lemon stands for something? The salt that's on the table stands for something. Salt is for the crying, because mom and dad lost their son or daughter. There's a lot of meaning behind that. Flag Day is about an education to educate us on all these beautiful little symbols that we should know as Americans living in the greatest country in the world. We should know. We have the fire department gets involved. We raise a 30 by 60 flag. It is an enormous flag. We have a radio station. We have somebody that comes and sets up a photo booth, face painting for kids. And we had over 1,300 people this year. We had to move the location. It's the first year it wasn't held at my office. We had to move it to the American Legion. And we supported the American Legion and all the good that they do for our community. So it was great. We had a great turnout. It was a beautiful day. We give away 7 metal flags that are made by a local veteran. And the woodworking is done by another veteran. And then it's got their rank and their name branded in it. And we have them come up and speak, and you get to hear, we're going to honor a really sharp young man who came back from Afghanistan with no legs. And this gentleman is a true hero. And this year we're going to be honoring him. He's going to be one of the 7 recipients. And I'm super proud to have him joining us.
That's awesome.
And, it's a special day for our community. It's a community day. It's not a Paradiso Insurance Day. It's not a Chris Paradiso event. It is a event for our country, for our flag, for our veterans, and a day of respect and honor. June 14th.
I love that. I appreciate you sharing that your heartbeat there, because I do believe that is the heartbeat of your agency, and I think
it is.
It's one
That's
of those,
why you will notice every Friday we will be in red.
Yep,
and we have been in red for several years. Red stands for, R stands for remember, E stands for everyone, D stands for deployed. Hashtag Red Friday. You will see us every Friday until the day I am no longer on this face of this planet, until they all come home. We will be wearing red.
I love that. I've seen so much about Red Friday. You may not know them all, but we owe them all. And
John Bachman, we got him. He comes down. He drives down from Boston, and he's at another agency. He comes and supports. We support each other.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome.
It's about supporting each other. This isn't competition.
No, and that's one of the things. Each agency is built differently. Each agency looks differently. The customer experience can be different, things of that nature. But what you guys have done is found your heartbeat. And again, it's not about Paradiso Insurance. It's not about Chris. It's not about anything other than a true passion that you have, that your agency has, that your community has. And I think that, it just goes to show if you're doing the right thing and you're focused on doing the right thing, then, good things will happen, or things will happen, whatever you want to look at it like. But I love to hear that. I wanted you to be able to share that. I appreciate you sharing that. And
you want to bring your community together, run a Flag Day event. It's amazing the hugs and you get from strangers who are nothing more than a community person. My dad used to remind me, what makes a great community is the people. It's not the community. Community is only made up of great people. Great people make a great community, period. Nothing better than to give hugs and shake hands and, be able to say, hey, we live in this great community. Let's love it. Let's take care of it. And let's support the people in it.
And it doesn't have to be Flag Day. It could be another thing you might be passionate about. It could be whatever.
Sure.
And so
4th of July, it could be.
It could be a lot of different things. You're right. And maybe you have an Irish heritage, and maybe it's something from St. Patrick's Day. Who knows? But the other thing I wanted to talk about real quickly, as part of the customer journey, again, to be unique and different in your customer journey, is you guys do something. If you still do, if I'm wrong, then Chad can edit this. But you guys do things a little bit differently when it comes to birthdays, and I find it unique. Are you still doing that?
We are. So we tier our clients. So our AAA clients are getting handwritten note cards, birthday cards. Our AA clients are getting postcards, but they're all getting Facebook, basically a birthday video that we post on their Facebook page. From all of us here at Paradiso Insurance, we're wishing you, Heath, a very happy birthday. What are we doing? We're trying to imply that you do business with us. All of our clients, all of our prospects, everybody we're wishing a happy birthday does not do business with Paradiso Insurance. But we're implying it and we're wishing them a happy birthday. And now we've just implemented a drop call, which is a ringless call that goes wishing you a happy birthday, which goes right into your voicemail for a penny a call.
I've gotten several of those from you, and none of them are the same, which I find where most people do it a little differently. They might get the phone call, they might do the video, but typically what I've seen is it's the same video. And so my wife might get the same video that I got, my son might get the same video, but each one of yours is unique from month to month. Am I right?
Well, we have quite a few birthday videos, so yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there is a chance that you could. We just have a pretty robust, we have a full-time
but it feels uniquely to them.
Videographer now, so we are doing, we outsource it and we brought it in-house so that we are up in our ante in 2024 by threefold when it comes to video.
Yeah, I think it's super smart. And I think you've got to find that thing for your customer journey in your agency, whether it's birthday, whether it's Flag Day, whether it's something, whatever that might be. But I think first and foremost, you've got to start with Chris. If I'm hearing what Chris's advice is, first and foremost, it starts with your people. And it starts with investing in your people.
It does.
And then from there, you've got to make it uniquely yours, and you have to have passion behind it, and it has to be something that.
And remember, touch points are different. Everybody's going to find a touch point. Some people don't want to send birthday cards. That's fine. Some people want a birthday phone call. That's great too. My only point is take action, try, test, see what's working, see what's not, and then change if you have to change. But by doing nothing, that's not acceptable.
Right. And you guys have roughly how many touch points do you have from start to finish?
27.
It's incredible. You guys heard it here, 27. I appreciate you sharing. I know we didn't get through all 27, but the principles there and hearing your passion and your voice and hearing you talk about that, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on the show with me. I know it's been a minute since you've been on a show, and so I'm glad that you were intentionally spent the time with me. You're a good friend. You're a good person. You're good for our industry, and I can't thank you enough.
Independence, and when the independent agent is winning, we're all winning.
100%.
We need to look and support and really get behind each other and not put each other down. Challenge each other, but in a positive way.
100%. And if anybody wanted to get in touch with you or find you, whatever? Is there a website or an email address or anything they could find
You literally put Chris Paradiso. You can go to chrisparadiso.com. You can go to Paradiso Insurance. You can email me at cparadiso@paradisoinsurance.com. You literally put that in there. It's pretty hard not to find me.
Right.
And if you go to the agency website and you just write a message, that comes instantly to my cell phone. So I see every message that's coming in off the website. Or if they want to pick up the phone and call me, my cell phone is 860-836-1230. Just give me a shout. I'm happy to take the call.
Perfect. Thank you, audience, for listening. Thank you for hanging out with us on Vertafore Insurance Podcast Season 3. I appreciate you guys being here. Go and subscribe on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts, and I will see you on the next one. Well, that was a great episode.
Amazing. It was an amazing episode.
I really enjoyed that content. Guys, if you enjoyed that content and you want more of it, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Nah, dude. You got to tell them to crush it. Crush that subscribe button, guys.
All right. Whether you want to crush it, smash it, hit it.
Bop it?
Sure, we could bop it. Either way, guys, we don't want you to miss another episode. We enjoy spending time with you, the VIP.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.